What's your reaction if a CCTV camera snaps your car and the council sends you a traffic ticket?
Well, they're just robbing you every time, aren't they?
Well, this is the way they see it at the town hall.
Another record month, guys. Well done.
I'm sure members of the public would be absolutely outraged by this.
Another increase. Holidays, as expected, brings back the traffic.
No wonder people are angry.
It's not about getting a ticket.
I am not getting a ticket.
It's big business. We visit the Moneybox Junction. It generates £2 million a year for the town hall. And we come up with our own solution to help Britain's traffic ticket turmoil. Tonight on Panorama, when councils ticket drivers, are they trying to improve traffic flow or are they in it for the money? And could your town hall be next in line to target the motorist? My name is Adam Shaw and I'm in a jam. We all are. For every 3 cars that were on the road 20 years ago, there are now 4. The whole country seems clogged up with traffic jams which stretch for miles. And miles. And miles.
Capital travel.
A25 clockwise is slow.
I'll start in Aberdeenshire. The A90 is closed in both directions.
Long delays on the A20.
Very heavy clockwise through that junction.
Flow through the Wandsworth one-way system at the moment. There's a fuel spill on the high street earlier.
At this point, you just want to turn on some sort of very relaxing classical music. Breathe out with attention.
And as traffic gets worse, councils are finding new ways of finding motorists by using CCTV. Some of them are curious to say the least, and I'm on my way to see a couple. There are even roads reserved for buses when there are no buses.
Like here in Basildon in Essex, where the local council has made this entire road a bus lane and can fine motorists for going into it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's just one problem. There are no buses on a Sunday.
7,000 drivers have been fined here, but the council says it'll review the bus lane if
there is significant support for a change from the local community.
Then I headed off to Bedford to see another befuddling bus lane.
It is only 30 yards long, but it blocks the whole of the road, and if you go into it, you risk a fine. So you have to make this detour. There we are. That was a detour of, well, just over a mile, all for a bus lane built for just 4 buses an hour.
600 drivers have been ticketed here in 1 month. The council told us
there is no excuse for not realising you're driving illegally in a bus lane.
Why would councils fine motorists in this way? I've come to the Midlands to try to make sense of it all. Here at Birmingham University, one of this country's leading local government experts thinks he knows. Professor John Raine says councils can't help being motivated by money, or to be precise, the lack of it.
They've never had budget cuts like they have at the moment, some 25%. Local authorities have to find the money somewhere or cut their services, and so raising charges and fines included is one area that they must be exploiting. But once you make the decision to introduce bus lanes and enforce those bus lanes, even for good traffic reasons, the hunger for the income must surely enter the mindset.
After bad publicity about overzealous traffic wardens, the number of fines for parking has actually fallen in recent years. But fines for drivers on the move, captured on CCTV, have shot up. Take councils outside London. They've been on a ticketing spree. They fined 3 times as many motorists last year as they did 5 years ago for being in a bus lane. Bath has increased bus lane tickets by 22% in 5 years, Sheffield by 50%, Brighton by 177% and Reading by 404%. In fact, Reading Council issues more bus lane tickets than anywhere else in Britain. And the man in charge of traffic here represents local authorities which are now pressing for even more powers to fine motorists. But he denies that's down to money.
This allegation that somehow we put in cameras to raise money is nonsense. We put in cameras so that buses like that run on time and that bus lanes do what they say.
But it's no wonder councils like Reading want more powers. At present, they can only use CCTV to fine motorists for one driving offence: driving in a bus lane. In the capital, it's much tougher for motorists. London boroughs can fine drivers for all sorts of other moving traffic offences too, such as stopping in box junctions and ignoring no right turns.
Councils are pretty much out for themselves.
I shouldn't be obstructed in conducting my business, and the councils make it very, very difficult for me to do my business.
In fact, in London, you can even get a moving traffic ticket for not moving. Like here, because this is a red route. If you stop here in the rush hour, these cameras can snap you. That's what happened with actor and motoring campaigner Tom Conti.
Well, I was looking for a place to park in that row back there, and I saw that someone was getting into a vehicle to leave. But I had seen a notice back there, so I parked, ran back, checked that it was all right to park, and then reversed into the space.
Sounds reasonable.
Sounds reasonable, doesn't it? Except I was given a ticket.
He got the £60 ticket cancelled, but only by going to appeal, and just 1 in 100 drivers do that. He was so incensed about the way drivers are treated that he helped set up a motorists' action group.
The punishment doesn't fit the crime at all. It's really absurdly high. I mean, you know, I could probably hit an old woman and get fined less than I would for parking a car in the wrong place. It's completely disproportionate.
And one London council, more than any other, is leading the way in fining motorists for moving traffic offences. Hammersmith and Fulham issue so many tickets that their approach is seen as a model for other councils around the country. So be very careful if you drive round here. There are 5 box junctions round this one-way system alone. Then there's this very confusing bus lane, ready to catch the unwary. Here, cars are banned between 7 and 10 a.m.
I'm riding along here and the time is just after 12 o'clock and I'm coming up to a bus lane.
But halfway down the road, the bus lane time suddenly switches. Now cars are banned from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. At just past midday, I'm now illegal.
I can't get out. Now it tells me that's between 7... I can't drive in this bus lane at all. I mean, you really have got to be... There's no warning that suddenly the rules have changed.
Hammersmith Town Hall, the nerve centre of Hammersmith and Fulham's traffic operations. At least £4.5 million worth of fines for moving traffic offences were generated from this building last year. So why do the people here seem so keen to hit the motorist? This poster might provide a clue. The borough now promotes itself as the Low Tax Council and has cut council tax for 6 out of the last 7 years. In fact, it's so proud of its record that it's even produced this cartoon, showing how much more you pay for food and fuel than in 2007 and how much less you pay in council tax.
But something else has gone up in Hammersmith and Fulham: traffic tickets. Last year, the council issued 4 times as many tickets for moving traffic offences as it did in 2007.
That's gone from more than 19,000 tickets in 2007 to over 81,000 last year. And the council issues more of those tickets here than anywhere else. The Bagley's Lane box junction is the crown jewel of CCTV sites.
This is the worst box junction in London.
But I've been caught twice on this one.
In the last year, so have 29,000 others, producing an income for the council of £2 million from this junction alone.
The rules about box junctions are pretty clear, and they're all here in the highway code, and basically they say you're not allowed to stop in the junction because it blocks the traffic. So if your exit path isn't clear, don't go in. There is, however, one exception, and that is if you're turning right. You are allowed to stop in the junction, but only if your exit is blocked by oncoming traffic.
If it's that straightforward, what's the problem? It's time to find out and try Bagley's Lane myself.
So wait right until you get here. I'll pause for a moment. Yeah. Wait, it's a box junction. I was saying it was just a box junction. I was just having to check. I didn't delay you, did I? You see, once you do abide by the law, they all get angry with you.
Very angry. There just seems to be too much traffic at this junction, and it's not just motorists who get fed up.
We can't cross here because you have not observed the rules of the road.
I am not getting a ticket.
It's not about getting a ticket.
I am not getting a ticket.
Every day we come across here and a vehicle has not gone out onto the junction for fear of getting a fine. They block the pedestrian area and it's dangerous.
Hammersmith and Fulham said that of the 30,000 vehicles a day using the junction, only 0.2% now get a fine. The Bagley's Lane box junction is notorious, thanks largely to one man, Andrew Ash.
Excuse me, could I give you this leaflet about this junction? It's, you know, they raise a fortune.
I've been done 4 times.
4 times, have you?
And I've had 4 tickets.
Yeah.
And I think it's wrong.
I think it's wrong.
Because we call it the money box.
The money box, yeah.
He started protesting against the council after being ticketed at Bagley's Lane Junction. It's a campaign that could have implications for councils across the country, masterminded from his office nearby.
After I got caught, I wrote to the council using the Freedom of Information Act. To begin with, they refused to give me any information. And then I persevered, and I got a treasure trove of internal council documents, emails between senior officers.
The emails lifted the lid on life inside Hammersmith's traffic department.
Another record for us. Well done all.
Another good month last month. That's despite the system problems we had. So well done, everyone.
The late shift penalty charge notices helped matters, so well done, everyone.
We took the documents here to Birmingham University.
At face value, it certainly looks dreadful stuff. You can perhaps understand some of the mentalities, the mindsets that lead people to think like that. I'm shocked that it still persists, and this is recent information that you provide.
Hammersmith and Fulham described these remarks as office banter and told us that
the emails show enthusiastic staff dedicated to doing a good job, chatting amongst themselves.
We also took our evidence to one of Britain's leading traffic lawyers.
I've heard of this kind of thing happening, but to see it in black and white, I'm sure members of the public would be absolutely outraged by this. It is clear that those emails are indicative of a culture of seeking to issue as many penalty charge notices as they can. And that is completely contradictory to the purpose that the local authority is supposed to serve. Their job is to reduce the number of contraventions.
In fact, other documents show officials here were concerned when the number of tickets fell.
A worrying start as penalty charge